Hello and welcome to Higher Ground Gaming. This is Eric. Today we're going to do another unboxing from a game that we backed on Kickstarter. The name of the game is called The Axe, and as you can see, it definitely is a spiritual religious theme. But it does have really good mechanics. Again, there are a lot of religious spiritual games out there that don't have good mechanics, or mostly like trivia type games. But this is one of the few that do. And more of them that are coming out do have good themes and everything like that too. So, which we are going to be backing. One is called Commissioned, which has some basically a lot of people call it a reverse pandemic. But which does have good mechanics and everything. And then there's Soul of the Empire, which is a great worker replacement game, which we may be picking up in the near future. And one of them is it was based on Kingdom of Solomon, I think, or something to do with Solomon. But anyway, it's a worker replacement game with some good economic themes to it too. But this is the first one that we got. This is the one that we got right off of Kickstarter. So it came in a little while ago, and just now getting around to doing an unboxing of it. So we will do an unboxing and show you what it's all about. So again, The Axe, here it goes. So as you can see here, it does come with some expansion packs and little extra cards and everything, but we will show them after we get into the main game. So first of all, we'll start off with the back here, and read the back here and show you what it's about. It's by Cobblestone Games, and it does play, let's see here, I think it's 2 to 4 players. Yeah, I'm sure it'll say it in the rule book. So anyway, so Christ has ascended to heaven. The disciples have waited in Jerusalem for the coming of the Holy Spirit. Now filled with its power, they embark with a great commission to spread the gospel message throughout Judea and to the ends of the earth. In the Acts, you take on the role of disciples in the early church. Starting in Judea, you can spread throughout the Roman Empire, sharing the gospel in the goal of adding believers. Each turn, you can preach, pray, plant churches, write letters, disciple others, and perform mighty miracles. So those are some of the mechanics in the game. Race to reach the farthest provinces first, or focus your strategy around the spiritual gifts you have prayed for. With multiple paths to victory, each game is unique. The game board features a familiar map of the first missionary journeys, and each card highlights the spiritual gifts. Hey, there's Miss Mags here. Wanting to check it out? Say hi, Miss Mags. With multiple... Okay. The game board features the familiar map of the first missionary journeys, and each card highlights the spiritual gifts or miracles mentioned in the scripture. The Axe is faithful to the Bible, yet requires no biblical knowledge to play and enjoy. Miss Mags is already enjoying it right now. Okay. All right, Miss Mags. So let's open it up. All right, Mags. You can get down now. Miss Mags likes to be on camera, since Mr. Brody usually gets most of the camera time. Okay. All right, yeah, you're a good girl. Why don't you go lay down now, okay? Oh, there she goes. She's got to make a little noise, and she'll be running off the other direction. All right, so again, it's by Peter Schultz and Liz Stefanoff by Cobblestone Games. And I know Cobblestone Games has produced other games. Trying to think of another one. It's a type of worker replacement game, I think. I want to say it's based in Germany, building buildings and stuff. I can't remember the name of it offhand, but I'm sure if you look it up. And again, as you can see here, 60 to 90 minutes. 60 to 90 minutes, 2 to 4 players. So about half an hour for 2 players, I imagine, and then 90 minutes for the 4 players. And it's recommended for ages 14 and up. All right. So take a look at the sides of the box here. Alright. Okay. So let's take a look at the instruction manual. Very thin instruction, not too many instructions. Okay, so this is where it starts right here. So it goes over the game contents, game setup, some key terms, of course the turn sequence, and the game end, about the spiritual gifts, the miracles, how to use them, and quick reference guide on the back here. Again, not too much to it, only 4 pages, not a lot of color to it, but imagine it shows you everything you need to know, hopefully. Alright, so that is the rule book there. Not too much to this. And here's the player board. I know the player board is double-sided, from what I've read. So this is the board here, and see if we can get you a little bit better picture of it. So this is the board here. Just imagine where you put the cards for the spiritual gifts, and the iconography. And it is a Euro type game, so there is it's victory points. So the victory points are going to be around the edge of the board as usual. Again, not a lot of color to it, but very functional, shows you what you need. The different things you can take, like here's prayer. I'm not sure exact icon, I can imagine that's preaching. You can build churches and stuff in it too. And again, these are different routes that connect everything. So yeah, so that's the main player board. Let's take a look at the back here. Looks like it's very much the same. It does have little areas that are lined out for different things. So imagine maybe different scenarios in the game, or possibly the expansion might use some of this other iconography here. As you can see, this is the Middle East here, over to Rome and everything, the islands along the way. Okay, so that is the player board. And again, I normally cut it to do the player board and everything, but I'm not gonna this time. The board folds up. Let's see what we have here. So it looks like we have the little preacher icons. So we'll put this right here. Alright, so let's see what we have inside the box. Inside the little tokens. Yeah, so these must be the little icons you use here. So let's see if we can figure it out from the what's included in the game. So it looks like those are the disciples, the 36 disciples right here. And again, in 4 player colors. So it looks like you get like a maroonish, dark gray, light gray. You know, not a lot of color, but it does match the board and everything. So these are the 4 colors. Nice solid wooden meeples here. So that's cool. I believe that was one of the stretch goals in the thing, was to upgrade the meeples. The backers voted on that. And the cool thing about this too is that you could buy 2 copies of this game, and one would be donated to a church or facility of your choice you wanted to donate it to. So that was pretty cool. I did not do that, but that was an option to do. Okay, let's see what else we have inside the box. Not a lot inside here. So these are looks like the spiritual gift cards. So adding variety, and it looks like there are, they may be the miracle cards. These may be the miracle cards, not the spiritual gifts. So let's see here. So yeah, these going to be the miracle cards here, and basically it gives you little things that can happen on your when you do it. The cool thing about this too is that everything, the special things that you can do in the game are all based upon have biblical references, which is cool. Again, not necessary to play the game, but it does add a little flavor. So if you want to look it up, you can. So you may expend 1 prayer point when preaching to add an additional 2 believers. You spend 1 less prayer point to perform a miracle and may have 1 disciple perform a miracle even if occupied. So it allows you to kind of like break the rules a little bit. When writing, you gain 1 additional prayer point. Again, biblical reference in here. So let's see how many of these there are. It looks like there's different cards in this pack here. Not the greatest card stock. You know, it's very kind of pretty thin, but I'm going to end up sleeving these anyway, so it won't matter. But I definitely recommend if you're going to use these to sleeve them, because they are, again, not like linen finish or anything. Again, it was a very small Kickstarter. Didn't raise a ton of money, but enough to obviously to produce the game and a couple of stretch goals. But let's see, 3, 4. But again, not the I mean, it didn't get like anything like huge amounts of money for it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it looks like there's 12 of these. So these are the spiritual. Actually, these are the spiritual gift cards, which makes sense because of the dove. So 12 of those. 12. And then you have your player aids here. So these are the actions you can take in the iconography. So let's see if I can get this to focus a little bit better. Here we go. So you can expend prayer points equal to your current disciples to gain a disciple if you land on that one. The one that looks like a baptizing there. Then the scroll thing is add believers equal to your church and gain 1 prayer point, or add believers equal to your churches plus 1 when you go there. Again, you're going to put workers into these different areas to gain these actions, just like a regular work replacement game. So use prayer points to perform a miracle. Discard the miracle card used. And then here's move your disciple to a new region. So that's what the dotted lines or the dotted regions. I think on the second back of the player board there were rectangles and stuff shaped like that. I imagine they're circles too. It's at the end of the turn, place them in a staging area of the new region. So kind of like where you gather your workers. So this is, and there are 4 of these. So these are your player aids. Okay. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are all different colors. I think these are your faction or your player deck here, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of each, I think. 6 of each color. Yeah, and that's what the rest of this stuff is. It's 6 of each color. Again, you can see all the colors here. So each player will get his own deck here. So these are the miracle cards, it looks like. Yeah, these are the miracle cards. So each player will get his own deck here. And these are special powers each player will get. I want to see if they're the same or they're different. Let's see. No, it looks like they're different. So I imagine each player, depending upon what color you pick, gets a different... You get different abilities. So I imagine there's some asymmetricalness to this game, or whatever word that is. So I think depending upon what color you pick, you get different rewards. So I'll just show you one of the other ones in here. So this is the, I don't know, like the off-green type ones, dark gray, whatever, I think. No, actually, I don't know what color this is actually. So yeah, it's just some different things in each one. It looks like the prayer things have different numbers next to them, so you might get different points and stuff. Or you may have to use them in particular order. I'm not sure exactly yet. Miss Mags wants to leave the room. Just a few more minutes, Mags. So these are the miracle cards. So 6 for each faction. And then you get your... I was kind of hoping they would upgrade these, but again, they couldn't upgrade everything. I think these are more important to upgrade. But you have your church cubes. I guess you could upgrade them on your own if you wanted to. But these are the churches. Right here, I think there's 4 of each color. And I think that's one of the end conditions. If you plant so many churches, that'll trigger the end game. Alright. So those are your churches there. Nothing too special about that. I think these are your prayer... Let's see, which ones are which? I think these might be your prayer points. They come out in the beads here, the glass beads. That was a nice little thing for that. Alright. And finally, you have your... I'm not sure exactly what... Oh, darker light discs and dark discs. I'm not sure exactly what these are for, but there's 13 light discs and 16 dark discs. I imagine they have their special uses to denote a certain thing. And then you have, I think these might... And I think you probably have 1 each for your of your player token for the victory points and stuff. So that's that. And then so that's about it. That's inside here. So not too much inside. And then here you have, I think this is one of the Heroes of Faith expansion, which adds some cards. Yeah, mini expansion. So you take the role of famous figures from the Book of Acts as you strive to add believers. Each hero has a special ability that can be used throughout the game. So that's cool. Looks like this is Paul in this one. So this is a mini expansion, Heroes of the Faith. And then let's see what you have here. Heal, let's see. Oh, these look like they're more spiritual gift cards. So these were added to it. So this is an expansion. They have different numbers associated with them. So these are more spiritual gift cards, which is cool. And looks like you have more tokens here. This may add a 5th player. It looks like they're the same ones as the other ones. So yeah, so I think this is like a 5th player. So that's cool. And let's see what this one is. Oh, and another mini expansion. So it includes 2 mini expansions. And again, this wasn't really that expensive. It was around like maybe $30-35, I think, at the most. Not much more than that. But again, it includes 2 mini expansions and some upgraded meeples. And the double board, too. So that's good value for what you've gotten. There is I think there's only like 1 video up on this as far as on its Kickstarter page. I can't think of the name of it, but I think it's Board Game Mechanics, I believe, that did a mini playthrough of this or review. So check that out. I may be doing a review of this later on, or a playthrough, since there aren't any up there. Again, like it's got theme, which a lot of people aren't into necessarily the theme, but I'm into both theme and mechanics. So, and I think this may hit home with that. Again, not the greatest graphically or looking board or anything like that, but I think mechanics and theme are definitely 2 of the things that I like, and I like worker replacement. So let's see what this one does. So work against the challenges of persecution as you spread the early church. The persecution expansion adds growing impacts to preaching, disciples, and churches in the game of the Acts. So that's cool. So again, it seems like it's got a lot of playability. So yeah, so that is pretty much it. That is the Axe by Cobblestone Games. Can't wait to get this to the table. And thank you for watching. And Miss Mags thanks you too. So take care and God bless, and we will see you in the next unboxing video. Bye-bye now.